What's the stupidest/most embarrassing thing you've ever done while on stage or in front of an audience? When I was 13, I went with some of my Boy Scout troop to a leadership camp for a week. The camp was split into several patrols and had a designated leader for the day. Each morning, we would gather in the middle of the camp around the flag and divide up into our patrols. The scoutmasters would randomly choose one of the patrol's leaders to run up to the flag, and lead everyone in the Pledge of Allegiance, Boy Scout oath, etc. to start the day. This was a camp of about 100 to 150 kids. Well, the gods decided to shit on me that day, because not only was it my turn to be leader, but they chose me to lead the entire camp in our morning routine. I was never good at public speaking, especially at 13 in front of over 100 people. Nervous as hell, I ran rather quickly through the middle of the yard towards the flagpole. 10 feet from the flag, I trip. I face-planted and slid across the ground. Everyone burst out laughing. When I stood up, I had a dirt streak/grass stain on my face, which I refused to acknowledge when anyone pointed it out to me. Embarrassed and ashamed, I still had to start the Pledge of Allegiance. But in all of the panic my body and mind were going through, I forgot how the Pledge of Allegiance started. I stood there dumbfounded for a few seconds before one of the scoutmasters started it for me. I think he saw that I had had enough. I got shit about that fall for years. TL, Doctor tripped and face-planted in front of the entire camp, then forgot the Pledge of Allegiance. In my 10th grade theater arts class, we each had to present a product as if we were a spokesperson in a commercial. My product was the Powerpuff Girls board game. So I put my hair in pigtails, it was a kid's game after all, wrote my monologue and decided to deliver it with a lot of pep and enthusiasm. I started talking and about 4 sentences in, my shithead teacher stops me in front of the entire class and goes, "Whoa, whoa. Whoa, stop. Literally everyone is looking at you right now thinking, what the hell is she doing up there?" They weren't. I was doing fine for a goddamn 16-year-old. She was just a vicious cunt who hated me for some reason. She told me to start over, and this time I was so embarrassed and frazzled I forgot my lines, started trembling and was fighting back tears. So I pretended to go into a coughing fit and excused myself to get some water in the middle of the presentation. I left class for about 10 minutes to regroup. I went back in and somebody else was delivering their presentation, so I just sat in the back of the class. She never asked me to redo mine. The kicker? She was filming all the presentations and had planned on showing them to us the next day to critique them. I skipped school the next 3 days because I was so humiliated. I was in a church play when I was 12. It was me and 3 other guys dancing with 4 girls while the choir sang in the background. Me and the guys were the cool ones, wearing leather jackets and jeans and looking all badass. The girl I got to dance with, I had a crush on, and was wanting to ask her out. The night of the play, we all go out and dance, and the final thing we do before going off stage is dipping our partners. In front of hundreds of people, I dropped her. Not wanting to make the scene any more awkward, I continued with the plan, walk off stage like a rebel, and nobody thought I cared about dropping her. Needless to say, I never spoke to her again. You should have just said it was part of your cool guy, I don't give a shit act. When I was about 5, I was in a nativity play as one of the 3 wise men. I was a shy and nervous kid anyway, so when all the parents started taking pictures with flashes going off, I freaked the fuck out, threw my myrrh right at the baby Jesus style in the manger and got the hell out of there. Then everyone had to keep going pretending that Jesus' face wasn't all conked in from where I beamed him. DL, doctor, I killed Jesus. Sorry for letting you take the rap, Jews. When I was in the 11th grade, I had a solo that started off one of the songs in our high school orchestra's concert. I'd always do fine in rehearsal, but the day of the concert I started off on the wrong partial, which resulted in much panic and chaos. Apparently, the same fuck-up happened a few years ago, and the song was subsequently banned from our school. The teacher even wrote a note on the folder to remind herself never to let the song see the light of day. I would like to add that 5 years later, I was playing a small show at school jet-lagged and with a really dry throat. This one falls more under stupid because it was rather reminiscent of trying to talk while suppressing simultaneous burps and hiccups, except they were coughs and yawns in this case. For an hour. I ran out of water within the first 10 minutes. I have a few. I used to present leadership seminars and conferences for high school students, so I was on stage a lot. The most embarrassing ones I can think of are wearing a white skirt which became see-through under the stage lights, revealing to 100 plus 15 to 16-year-old boys my bright pink underwear. Face planting on the top step as I got up to give the key presentation of the day. Getting the name of the organization wrong in a speech, in front of the director of the organization. Oh my! I'll never forget. Junior year of high school. In between scenes, one of the characters shaves, thus meaning he has to remove his fake beard and have his makeup reapplied. I am in charge of this process, because I'm not on for another scene or two, and I'm the best in guys' makeup. So we decide on closing night of the show to time how fast I can do it. I use the timer on my phone. The makeup is disgustingly messy, so I have to remove the outer layer of my costume. We finish the makeup, I put my costume back on, and head to the wings to go on stage for my scene. My character in the show is drunk this scene, so I stumble on stage. I'm sitting on a bench on stage right, when another actor walks on and slaps me on the back. I react and stumble over and my phone falls out of my pocket. I had absent-mindedly placed it back in my pocket. There are 500 people watching to see what I'm going to do. Little do they know there is a chase scene starting in 30 seconds, and my phone is directly in the line of fire. I have 2 options: A. Try to not step on it. B. Kick it into the apron, the front part of the stage where floor lights are. I choose option B. I stand up and kick the thing to Kingdom Come with a giant thunk. We finish the scene, I go off stage, the stage manager comes and screams at me. I'm backstage, and I see the director coming. She's livid. I'm preparing myself for hell. She opens the door, looks directly at me, spins on a dime and proceeds to bitch out another actor for messing up in the dance number. Easily the stupidest/worst thing I've ever done. But the director somehow didn't notice. In 2nd grade show and tell I brought my Aaron Carter CD for the day. My teacher couldn't get the CD player working, so I offered to sing it for everybody. I decided Bounce was the appropriate song, and only made it as far as like a hot chili pepper it'll blow your mind, and everyone started laughing at me, in that horrible way only children are capable of. My teacher also cracked up. It was 2nd grade, so it's funny looking back on it, but I was absolutely mortified as a child by my own actions for a long time after. I got this, guys. It was the end of 9th grade and we were running for student council for the following year. I ran against the freshman class president that year to be class president our sophomore year. I did my speech in front of my entire freshman class. I thought that I had done rather well. When I finished, nobody clapped. Not one goddamn soul. I literally said out loud, "Seriously guys?" Still silence. Finally, my opponent stood up and clapped. He was genuinely being kind in the moment, not a douche. He was the only one, bless his soul. And then I left the stage. I cried the rest of the day, and needless to say, I lost the election. I can honestly say I have no idea why my entire class was in on this. I moved across the country that summer, thank God. Nick, if you're out there, thank you. Not me, but during a performance of The Wizard of Oz, our good witch gracefully walked off stage, then rushed to the bathroom right before the scarecrow scene, but she forgot to turn off her wireless mic and take it off. Mid-scene over Dorothy and the scarecrow, very loud grunts and straining noises start coming over the auditorium, followed by extremely loud flatus noises and even more grunting. It sounded like she was shitting out a baby rhino. The scene effectively stopped with Dorothy looking horrified and the scarecrow trying to laugh. The best part was when over the mic, amidst all the grunts, she said, "Come on Glinda, got it feeling like I'm squeezing out a damn munchkin." A few seconds later you heard a door opening and the drama teacher calmly saying, "Glinda, your mic is still on, you might want to remove it before you use the bathroom, Followed by the director's screams of anger how she was going to kill a bitch for ruining her play, and the drama teacher saying how the mic was still on and everyone could hear the director. All of this happened while the scarecrow scene tried to continue. DL, Doctor, during a play an actor left her mic on while she went to take a shit. Everyone in the audience heard her while she very loudly took a shit of the ages. My senior year of high school I took an acting class, which I sucked at. At around Christmas time the school was doing a musical, and my theater class teacher made everyone try out. They're all drama club geeks so they're used to that stuff, but I'm not. I forgot that tryouts were that day and I wore heels to school, so I had to dance in my socks. There was an instructor who taught us a dance in which we will perform when trying out. Everyone nailed it on the first time but I couldn't catch on. Then we had to gather into groups of 3 and go on stage to try out. I walked up there, wearing bright green and red Christmas socks, and I was slipping and sliding everywhere. At the end I accidentally stomped on a loose screw on the stage and screamed/fell in pain. It was so terrible that nobody even laughed. DL, Doctor, I was forced to dance on stage in my nerdy Christmas socks for a school musical tryout. I failed terribly because I can't dance, and I was slipping and sliding everywhere due to my lame socks. I also accidentally stomped on a loose screw barefoot and screamed in pain. In front of about 150 drama club geeks. Like, comment and subscribe for more content like this.